All right, collective reading. Looks like masculine king energy with the King of Pentacles coming out. Also King of Wands, so Aries, Leo, Sag, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn energy potentially. So let's see. Today's story. Two of Swords in reverse. Again, maybe a king is trying to decide what they should do about something that they feel they are either committed to, obligated to, whether that's, you know, a job, a connection. There's some kind of, you know, there's an attachment to it, but in some kind of sense of duty, right? So it could be, you know, some kind of job, maybe a marriage. I feel like this is a king that's kind of trying to decide which way do I go, right? Do I just leave something once and for all? The thing about it is this king seems to be this decision that they have to make. It's not whatever situation they have. It's already kind of like a sad, disappointing situation that they're living. And I don't know, it's one of those things where it's like you may have two choices, right? Or two options, but it's like whatever you decide, there's going to be a sadness to it, right? Like, I don't know, I'll be able to explain this better. What is the Star in reverse? Again, a king that probably knows what they really do want with that Ace of Swords in the upright, but Nine of Wands in reverse, Moon in reverse, Star in reverse. So it's knowing what you probably do want, knowing what you want to choose, knowing probably what your hope is here in a situation, but feeling like it's not something that can be achieved. A lot of doubt or a lot of hesitation, probably because there's not a sense of knowing what's going to happen if I pursue what I actually want. You know, there's not really a problem with what this king wants, but if they pursue this, if they choose that, what is going to happen? So they have no clue, they have no idea. And it's like leaving one thing for another thing and not knowing if what you're leaving behind is worse or better. It feels like this is the king that's kind of in that thinking. So again, with that King of Pentacles energy, I think a king that likes to wear green for some reason. A king that likes to wear the color green. Okay. Extra. I feel like this king feels either that they are old in age or old in spirit, right? Or like their soul is older in energy. There's just a certain sense of you know, being older, feeling older. And once upon a time, what they did want, they would pursue like there's no tomorrow. Like in the past, if they wanted something, they would pursue that, no questions asked. Like they would have the energy for it, they would have the determination for it. It's like go, go, go in the past. But I feel like now this is a king that feels a bit tired in age and physicality, or just tired in spirit. That even though there's an opportunity that they really want to pursue, that in the past they probably would pursue, even if they didn't know what the outcome was. But that's not the energy they live in today. They live in the energy of, I don't know what's going to happen if I do this, and if I do this, what if I choose wrong, right? So I guess that's really kind of the energy that a king is in for today, at least. Again, I'm going to be at a pop-up tarot cafe in Maginhawa in Quezon City This is going to be on February 8th from 3 to 9 p.m. So I hope I see some of you guys there. I'll be there doing some tarot readings. I'll also have some spell jars available, spell jar sets and keychains. So I hope you guys can drop by. There is a link to register for the event. I can share that with you guys if you are interested. Ooh. Okay, so what's up with this king? I mean, I do feel like this king has grown wiser. I think that's why they feel so old. Like there's like so much has happened to them that they feel old in spirit, but it's because of the experiences they've had to go through that have kind of made them feel older. But it's a good thing because it feels like there's things they've learned. But there's a sadness to the energy. For some reason, there's like a sadness to it. It's like, yes, I learned this very difficult lesson, but it's like this sad sigh, you know? Again, forbidden love, tragedy, divine feminine. They could have experienced a connection with a feminine, a queen that was maybe forbidden, right? That is what happened in the past. So they took a time out from whoever this was. It was forbidden. So if they're a King of Pentacles, they might already be in a commitment, in a marriage, right? They might be obligated to family or a job. There's just something about how it's forbidden, this connection that they indulged in. However, this connection they indulged in did bring a lot of happiness for them. It was something that they really felt happy about. I'm also sensing in the past, this was actually a joyful king. I think in the past they were, you know, that kind, you know, there's kinds of people where they're like, you know, it's just a happy, fun energy, right? I feel like this is the king in this past. With the King of Wands especially, it feels like they were quite attractive in energy and nature. Their nature was very just fun and jovial, and it just seems like they could have been like the center of attention, or they could have really, you know, people like would really be attracted to their energy because of just how fun and joyful they were. But that's not the energy I get from this king now. This king has such a sadness to their energy. I fear that they don't have that same joy, that same light, right? In their eyes, in their energy. So whatever happened here was really quite tragic, and it really did kind of dim their light a bit. This is a king that it's such a the contrast to their energy in the past and to their energy now is so stark, right? It's so vivid, the difference in the energy. It's like now they're just very tame and just very kind of sadly calm, and it's like they're watching from afar. It's like they are potentially keeping to themselves, whereas before, like, they were outgoing, they were this, they were that, and blah blah blah. And it's like now that's not the case. That's just what I'm seeing here. It's like they don't have the energy to be outgoing anymore. They don't have the energy to be around people anymore the way that they used to be, right? Guess that's what that is. Yeah, they could have hoped for something to happen here that would have potentially brought them success. It never did, from what I'm seeing. I think they were hoping that there was some kind of brand new beginning, fresh start, something just very, very refreshing and promising. But it didn't happen that way. And I think that's the letdown in the energy. That's why this king is just so sad. It's like that's why they're so down, and just it's just a very sad energy, honestly. there is not much that they see that is worth doing at this point. I think what I mean is anything that's probably self-serving, they don't really have a lot of energy towards that. Again, that's why it's like there's no joy, right? I mean, we become vibrant, energetic, joyful when we are, you know, fully invested in things that we are passionate about, right? We have the energy for it, but sometimes we go through something and it like taps and it zaps and it drains us, you know, in all kinds of ways, that it just feels like there's nothing left, right? So that, you know, that hope, that energy, it's kind of gone. I feel like this king, they don't really see a point, honestly. Whoever this queen is that they maybe had some kind of connection with, that didn't come to pass, I think they view this queen as being very strategic, being very logical, or maybe even detached. They kind of view this queen in a way that it's like it's like they're thinking this queen knows what they're doing. They know what they're doing, and there's a little negativity to it because it's like, and I think that's where the doubt is coming from. So here's what I'm seeing. Earlier, I had said that this king, right, was trying to figure out what should they do, and what, you know, was I going to leave something for something else and not know what that outcome was. And I think they look at whoever this queen is that they probably had wanted to go towards as somebody that, I don't want to say cruel. It's not that they think this queen is cruel, but they definitely look at this queen like, there's just this sense of looking at this queen like, wow, they can be very cutthroat. That still seems quite harsh, honestly. I don't know. I can't seem to find the word that would describe that energy, but in a lesser, you know, in a less harsh way. It's not that they see this queen as cutthroat, but in a sense, it's like that. It's like, wow, this queen can be so detached. It's like this queen is so, like, they can really show that they don't care. Like, this queen is this queen. It's like they look at this queen in this way. And maybe that's their impression, right? Maybe that's what they're thinking, or maybe that's what they're seeing. Definitely what happened here was something special, whatever this was between these two people. But again, it did not move forward. It did not progress. And again, there's that Six of Cups. That's so, look at the, if you guys like tarot cards, right? This is the Six of Cups in the pastoral tarot and the traditional tarot. But I think this king, this connection made them happy. I think they felt like they were alive, maybe, or they had so much joy in this experience that they had that might have been forbidden. They don't want to think about it, but then their energy is just full of sadness from it. And I think they, remember we said earlier, they felt like, well, there's not really a decision that can be made here. Like, there's really not an option. What was I saying earlier? There was a specific phrase that I used, and that seems to be the energy that they choose to believe, okay? Because to them, it's like, this, imagine this connection is this maze, right? This is how they feel about this connection. They feel like this connection turn them all upside down. Like they can't figure out what to make of it, and they also can't seem to find the exit of this maze, of this connection, of this experience. Like, that's how they're feeling about it, and that's why the Devil is in reverse, because they look at this and they think, this situation has totally changed me. I am not the person I was before. I can't even find any kind of joy or happiness or or fun in life because of this. It's like they feel like they've been robbed of their energy because of this situation. Okay. And maybe that's the way that they're thinking because that's the only thing that makes sense to them. But encouragement here is we need to really kind of rethink about that, because yes, this experience may have taken away from this king, but this king has to acknowledge their participation, right? Their own limitations, their potential that they did not fulfill in their way, in their own way that they could have. I mean, it feels like there's a lot of looking at a situation and kind of blaming it rather than this king reflecting and thinking about their whole participation and what maybe what the purpose of the experience is and what to take away from it and how to move on from that, right? This king looks at this experience as having destroyed their life, honestly. And it makes sense because their energy just feels so sad, like they can't even get out of bed, like it's just such a chore to get out of bed because what's the point? There's nothing that's going to make me happy anyway. But they do because they're a King of Pentacles, right? They fulfill obligations. So that's kind of what I'm seeing for this king. I'm going to leave it at that. Cancer, Sagittarius, Taurus, Aries. Let's get number 1, the number 1. And then since some of you guys like the letters, let's try the letters. Okay, let's just do that. So I think this is a Q. It looks like a Q to me. Let me know. A Z. Okay. An X. And this is an M. Oh. And an F. Okay. I'm going to leave it. I'm getting an urging, but I'm going to leave it. So that's what I have for today.